guys, welcome to my kitchen. Well guys, I got a new tripod and I'm really rinsing it. Welcome back you guys. Today we have an exciting video. We have a cooking video. I've been a wife now for 3 years and I'm only just learning how to actually cook. Trying to manage our household's meals. It's a full-time job, as it is a full-time job. So I'm making this video to try and help you and give you some ideas and show you that I'm not a pro. I'm going to take you through a week of dinners and show you what I make for me and for my family. I need to decide what we are going to have for our dinner. Now, I haven't yet done the food shop for this week. So it's going to be a bit of a improvise with what I've got scenario. So we have a few options. We have some chicken that needs to get used up and it is already diced, and I am going to make enchiladas. It's actually not a dish that's usually made in our house, but it's actually one of our favourites and I just always forget about it. But we have the kit and I'm going to make that today, but I do need to run just to the corner shop to get some extra things to make it a bit more exciting. So I want to get need to get some onion. I want to try and get some I want to put some kind of veggies in the mix as well, you know, just to give that illusion of health, and some spices. If I have time, I'm also going to try and prep some lunches for the week. Okay, so I started off by seasoning the chicken and chopping up the vegetables in advance. To season, I used Cajun, jerk seasoning and just general chicken seasoning, and then I made the sauce. Once the sauce was made, I then decided to prepare the chicken first. I find this gives it a better taste because then the vegetables get marinated in all the juiciness and it's just really good and keeps it crispy. So I then took the chicken out and started on the onions. I gave these quite a while because you want them to be nice and soft, but I then did add the peppers and I seasoned them well as well to get that depth of flavour, and then also added in chorizo. Chorizo is not in the recipe, but I'm so glad that I added it. It tasted so good. Yeah, and then I'm adding the chicken and the sauce back in, and this is essentially our tortilla filling. So it's really simple. We then just fill that up. I am not good at making the burritos, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. But yeah, this recipe probably makes about 6 to 8, and you just then add the extra sauce, add some cheese, put it in the oven, and then you have the yummiest. So the next day I made sausage and mashed with broccoli, and I'm just going to talk you through the process. So I did quite a lot of prep for this to break the meal down, and it was really handy. So in the afternoon I chopped up the broccoli so that it was just ready to be boiled later, and it saved me a job and it meant that I was just able to put it to one side. And I had already prepped the potatoes the day before, so as you can tell I'd already peeled and sliced them, and here I am just putting them on to boil. I love mashed potatoes, but sometimes because there's so many steps I get a bit overwhelmed, so I just like breaking it down like this. So I let them boil like this for quite a while, and then I used my stand mixer to blend them up. Honestly, I didn't know you could do this until recently, but it makes the best mashed potatoes ever, so use it if you have one. And what I am doing here is adding the seasoning. So we have salt, we also have a big chunk of butter, and we have some, I think that's thyme, and yeah, just leaving it in there and just letting it go on a slow speed for a really long time just makes the dreamiest mashed potatoes ever. And yeah, this is how I made them, and they are so good. I tend to batch make mashed potatoes and then just use them for weeks and months. So this is the next day, and I made this salmon orzo. This was actually the first time that I was making it, so I was a bit nervous and just kind of winging it. Um, so I'm gonna link the recipe that I used because I'm not confident enough to like share a tutorial. But here I am with the salmon. So I took the skins off and seasoned it, and I left that to set for a bit, and then I am searing them. They weren't cooked all the way through, but that's okay because they were going to get some more heat later. But this just meant that it was nice and crispy, and again, it means that like big one pan that you're using um gets like nice and juicy and stuff when you then put the other ingredients in. So here I am putting a huge amount of butter in because that's what we've got to do, and obviously just one chopped onion, and I didn't put the footage in, but also some garlic. Left that to kind of brown for a while, and then added in the orzo and some lemon sauce, and this is what made it so good. Um, then I wanted to make it a bit more green, so put in some frozen peas and some spinach, as well as the stock and the coconut milk. And all of this came together really well, but you do have to leave it to um, simmer for quite a bit to get the like depth of flavour that you're going to really want. So there is a little gap, and after it had simmered I did a little taste test. It was a bit too sour for my liking, so I went back in and added some sugar, and that's what you're watching right now. I think it did work out well in the end. um but yeah, once I was happy with that, I put the salmon back in, and this is how it turned out, and it actually tasted really good. And I think, okay, so this is actually a few days later, but I'm making steak. The leftovers from the other meals kept us going. But I just needed a quick, nutritious meal, so I went for these steaks. Not gonna lie, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I did make sure that the pan was really, really hot and really oiled before I put the steaks in. And then I just quickly cooked them, like seared them on each side. Our steaks were pretty thin, so it really didn't need a lot of time at all. And then I just served it with the leftover mashed potatoes from the other day and the broccoli that I'd pre-cut. And then this is the final one. So I made these pulled pork like buns. The pulled pork was really easy. It was just one of those like stick it in the oven pre-made things, but I did make the buns from scratch, and it came in really useful because it meant that I had enough bread to use for sandwiches throughout the week. This is a really simple recipe. It's just olive oil, flour, water, salt, and bicarb. But I just kind of let the stand mixer do its thing, to be honest. And then I ended up with these really beautiful little buns, which went in the oven for about half an hour. And they were so good, guys. But that is the end. Thank you so much. Not me just not knowing what's in here.